Hello and welcome back to We Talk Boxing. And this is just a short video to confirm the fight between Lomachenko versus Jermaine Ortiz on Saturday the 29th of October. Now this will be Loma's first fight back since taking that time out to partake in the Ukraine versus Russia conflict. Now, before I continue, please subscribe and like for more boxing related content. And most of all, leave your thoughts in the comments below and hopefully I'll get back to most of your comments as well. Now, this will be, just a confirmation video, but I will do a pre-fight video as well regarding this fight, closer to the date, so stay tuned for that video. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this will be Lomachenko's return to the ring, and he's fighting against the young and highly rated contender in Jermaine Ortiz, who, is currently undefeated as a professional boxer. Lomachenko, he's been out the ring for 10 months or more now, and his last bout was against Richard Comey, where, Lomachenko won by unanimous decision, and it was a comprehensive and straightforward victory in my eyes, it was a straightforward fight, won every round, and, he looked quite decent in the performance as well. And, taking into consideration, in that time as well, this will be, Loma's third fight, since his unanimous decision loss to Teofimo Lopez, where he kind of sustained, a unanimous decision loss back in October 2020. And for me, this is a good fight, for Loma to return to, as, it's not the most, exciting fight in terms of his opponent, but it's a good fighter to challenge because this guy is up and coming. Do you know what I mean? And he's got a good record, but at the same time, he shouldn't really cause Loma too much trouble. Lomachenko's faced, so many people in his pro and amateur career that he's probably seen all the different styles that he is to see, really. And this guy hopefully shouldn't really cause him too much trouble. And for me personally, I love watching Loma. Do you know what I mean? And there isn't really another boxer out there today, which could pretty much mimic his boxing style. Do you know what I mean? At the top level anyway, considering, And I still feel as if he's got quite a lot to offer the division. And there's some good fights out there, some good big fights as well, which can be made, such as the Tank Davis fight, the Ryan Garcia, Kambosos Jr., do you know what I mean? And obviously, the main man in the division at the moment, depending if he wins his fight against Kambosos Jr., Devin Haney. So there's still some good fights at 135 for Lomachenko if he comes through this. And to be honest, I expect him to come through this quite straightforward, really. And it's more of a tune-up fight, which shouldn't cause him any issues. And if he can get some of the bigger names in the division, brilliant. If he can't, then he's got an option to maybe move up to 140 pounds as well and take on some of their bigger names, you know what I mean? Such as Teofimo Lopez, which he had that fight back with at 135 and he lost. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe, a Josh Taylor fight, or Ramirez, or Progress. So there's other fights there which are potential, for Loma. But he's just got to get through this fight first, see how he feels, shake off some of that ring rust and stuff, and hopefully, he might entice some of the other guys in the division to want to step in there with him. Now, I also understand, that, this fight isn't going to do much in terms of rankings for him or improving on his status as one of the best at 135. But it's pretty much, as I said, a tune-up fight, just to kind of shake off the cobwebs. And if he gets through quite comprehensively, then he should fight the winner of Haney versus Kambosos as well, which I have done a video on that if you guys want to take a peek at that as well. But the one thing that I have to state in this, that if he does try and move up to the bigger weight of 140, that obviously he is the smaller man. Do you know what I mean? And obviously when he did fight Teo, Teo looked way much bigger than him. You know what I mean? And physicality wise, Loma's shots didn't really have much of an impact on him, and that was when both of these guys fought at 135. So you know what I mean? Him going up to 140 in the future, not too sure. But as I said, there's some good fights still at 135. This is just a just a short video, so I want to keep it quite brief. But you guys can let me know in the comments below, you know what I mean? How do you feel about this fight? Do you know what I mean? How do you feel about the opponent? Do you know what I mean? Do you think he's a good opponent for Loma to come back to? Do you know what I mean? Or would you have preferred him to kind of challenge one of the bigger names in the division? Do you know what I mean? For his first fight return and stuff. But as always, you know what I mean? Please subscribe and like for more boxing related content. And you know what I mean? Leave your thoughts. Bless.